Basically, that leads up to February the 23rd. So basically, about 104, a neighbor in that neighborhood called the police because there was a black male inside of the home of Mr. English. Now, this is still the structure. It's not really a house. There's no walls, doors, nothing. It's just basically a structure that's being worked on. The police called and was like, "Hey, there's this trespasser on this property. You guys need to like send someone out." The dispatcher was like, "Well, like, are they breaking into the home? Like, are they in the home?" And the caller was like, "Well, no, it's a house that's being worked on. So it's open. It's open." Um, so basically at that point, it has been confirmed that that was Mr. Ahmaud that was inside of the, just taking a look around the construction site. So after that, maybe about like 2 or 3 minutes later, of course, Ahmaud runs out, and continues on his jog. So you hear the caller stating, "Oh, hey, the guy, he's running off, or whatever," and he gave a description as to what Mr. Ahmaud had on, and that was pretty much that. That was the video of him, running. Well, the video of him being over on the construction site, or that property, that was caught on a neighbor's camera, home camera. So of course, there's evidence of that. So then a few minutes later, he jogs off down the road to continue his jog. So as he's running, he passes the McMichael's home. Outside was the dad, 64-year-old Gregory McMichael. He was outside. He sees Ahmaud runs past, and he feels that Mr. Ahmaud fits the description of, as he stated, of the person who has been basically going around vandalizing the property, or like breaking into people's homes and stuff like that. So he fits the description of that person. Now, mind you, there has only been one break-in reported. There has only been one theft reported, which is the same people, the McMichaels, who reported that as one incident. So it's not like there has been a string of things going on in the neighborhood where everyone needs to just be on this major high alert. So, as McMichael Sr. sees Mr. Ahmaud jogging down the street, he takes it into his hands to go inside, arm himself with a handgun, tell McMichael Jr. To arm himself with a shotgun, and hey, we're gonna hop in the pickup truck to go and like confront this guy and ask him questions. So that's where the infamous video comes into play, where of course now we have visualization of what is going on. So you see that there is a truck up ahead, and then there's a person in another truck behind them that's actually driving and recording. So in the video, you see a gentleman standing by the truck, by the driver's side door, I believe. And he's kind of looking off in the distance at something that's going on. For a split second, you see Mr. Ahmaud and McMichael Jr. kind of come into play. You see McMichael Jr., he has the butt of the gun, and front of the gun is facing Mr. Ahmaud. Mr. Ahmaud is seen trying to move the gun away from him to continue. Mind you, back up a little bit. They tried several times by McMichael's senior and junior. They tried several times to stop Mr. Ahmaud from jogging. They yelled several times for him to stop because they wanted to talk to him. Mr. Ahmaud refused to stop. He was not interested in having a conversation whatsoever with these men. Okay? He continued to run. So they made it their business to pull up ahead of him, block him off, to prevent him from passing them because they wanted to speak with him so bad. It was so urgent that they speak with him. So, okay, fast forward. So, you see Mr. Ahmaud once again making an attempt to like kind of run around the gun, and then all of a sudden the gun goes off. Then you see Mr. Ahmaud basically still struggling to either move the gun or possibly get the gun away from Travis Jr. Yeah, McMichael Jr., who has just shot him. And then all of a sudden you hear another bam. And then the heartbreaking moment is when you see Mr. Ahmaud like continuing to run. And then like a few steps later he falls like face flat to the ground. And that is pretty much where the video clip ends. So basically that day, like after that incident, the police was called. They arrived on scene. The third guy, or the guy who recorded the incident, is William Bryan, or Williams Bryan. William. He basically submitted the video over to the police department because the McMichaels are his friends, and he felt like that evidence would basically clear them to show, you know, what took place on that day. So the video footage was immediately turned over to the police. Now, fun facts. Gregory McMichael was a former police officer. He definitely had his hands involved in the law in more ways than one. So, of course, the people that are coming out to investigate him are people that he knows. He knows these people. They know him. These are also people that he has actually worked with at one point or another in his career, like the same people that are coming out to investigate the DA. These are people that he knows. He has a relationship with these people, or as I stated, have worked with them at one point or another. So of course, when you have someone who's a friend or someone that you know, it's kind of hard to, you know, go against that. So So basically months go by. This incident took place on February 23rd, 2020. And for months, nothing happened. Then suddenly, you know, things started to come about on social media where this story was definitely being spread like wildfire. So of course, more people was hearing about the situation that happened. So everyone was calling, everyone who has a heart was calling, for justice to be served, because even though Mr. Ahmaud was gunned down and murdered on February the 23rd, no charges were brought against his accusers. Like, nothing. No arrests. The video had been taken to like a grand jury. I'm pretty sure no one was investigating because the DA already stated, who is someone who has close ties to McMichael Sr., already stated that, based on his findings, that basically McMichael Jr. killing Mr. Ahmaud was justified. So the first district attorney that was on the case was Gregory Barnhill. That is the one who has or who knows McMichael Sr. He recused himself because, of course, he has close ties to the family that is being accused of this heinous crime. So then it fell into DA's Jackie Johnson's lap. She also had dealings with McMichael Sr. Or either the son. They had some sort of ties to each other. So she recused herself as well. So basically then at that point, and all of that happened within like a matter of days. So then at that point on March 13th, the Attorney General appoints Tom So then on March 13th, the Attorney General appoints Tom Duran to take over the case. Once Tom Duran takes over, I guess he feels like maybe, this needs to be taken care of in someone else's hands, because this office cannot, do what they're supposed to do. And at this point, this case has so many people riding behind it, so many people passionate about getting justice for Ahmaud. So that's when they brought in Georgia Bureau of Investigations to take over. After it fell into their hands within like a day or two, they had a warrant because they had more than enough probable cause to charge Gregory McMichael and Travis McMichael with felony murder and assault. Okay. And on May 7th, a day before Mr. Ahmaud's 26th birthday, they were arrested and charged. So, as of now, they are in jail. The judge has denied bail. Also, William, the second truck that videotaped, recorded what happened, he has also went to jail as well. So he is also being charged with the same thing. Yeah, he's also being charged with the same thing, felony murder, as well as assault. Now, I have not heard too many details on why the charges are also being brought against Mr. Williams. I definitely agree just for my own personal reasons, which is that's the McMichaels are your friends. So I'm pretty sure that they disclosed their plan as to what they planned on doing to Mr. Ahmaud once they caught him. So you were privy to the information and you decided to record it. And ultimately, that is pretty much like the smoking gun in this case, because you do have that footage, which thank you for recording, because in this day and age, that's all that people, do. They see something happening, they take out their phone and they want to record. And in this case, I am so glad that he felt the need to take out his phone and record. He was not going to help Mr. Ahmaud, like physically prevent his friends from murdering this man. So, this basically, he's serving justice. Even though he did not mean to serve justice. So, I mean, this is something that happens too often, where you have a African American man or a person of color that is being murdered by a Caucasian, by a person of no color. Yeah, by a person of no color. And it's sad. It's really sad that this is the world that we live in. It's sad to know that there are people out there in the world that does not like a person just because their skin is dark. There are people out there that have never met me, but they do not like me. Given the chance, they will pour acid in my face because of the color of my skin. And that is horrible. That is horrible. And granted, I understand that these people were probably frustrated. They get frequent visitors, to this neighborhood that's interested in this house that's being worked on. That's understandable that they would be, pretty much protective over the people that are coming in and out of their neighborhood. But, racial profiling is not the case. Just because this black man was in your neighborhood does not mean he is, coming there to harm you or your family. This could happen anywhere, with any race, so it just sucks that the black race is just kind of always targeted. And not only are we targeted, basically they're trying to annihilate us. They are trying to, just wipe us off the face of the planet. But, we definitely have to rise above this and show those hateful people out there that, love will, keep us together. And holding people accountable will keep us together. And opening our hearts to understand that even though people are different, we are so much the same in so many different ways. So this is definitely a case that is pulling at my heartstrings. It's definitely just sad, to think about. But I am happy that something is finally being done about the situation. These men that murdered Mr. Ahmaud is in jail. And, I am excited about the future. I'm excited to see what happens with this case. I hope that, justice is definitely served in the right way. I am so looking forward to this. And this is a case that I will continue to follow. I will continue to bring you guys updates. So I certainly hope that you enjoyed this video and I did not bore you to death with my commentary. Also, The next video that I'm going to bring to you guys is on Mr. Gregory Ford. He is the black man that was murdered, another black man murdered in Minneapolis by several white cops. But that is definitely going to be the next story that I bring to you guys. So I hope you are interested and ready for that. I will not ramble as much in that video as I did in this video. But thank you so much for riding with me. Baby.